Greetings from the underground and welcome to the apocalypse. This is Little Wing Run reporting to you. Welcome back. And this video may be a little bit longer than some of our others just because we have some very important information to get out to you today. We're going to start with some current reports and current events. There's a lot of reports on other channels regarding prophecy. So I'm not going to give you a recap of the entire 2020. That would take a long time considering all the events that have happened. Instead, what we're going to do, we are going to move forward instead of backward. In true LW1 style, we're going to be asking the question, what is coming? That's a loaded question. We're going to be asking it today, and then I'm going to be giving you some food for thought regarding some things that you can look into. As always, I'm not going to be giving you all the answers, and I'm going to be giving you some information so that you can go ahead and move forward and look for research on your own. If you run into trouble finding anything, make sure that you just don't look at mainstream reports and research, because what they try to do is they try to debunk some of the things that you're going to be learning today, and they'll put out false reports. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how some of the stuff's going down right now. It's really hard to find the truth. It's really hard to find solid teachers. So basically what I'm encouraging you to do is go ahead and do the research for yourself. If you run into trouble and you can't find the information, ask a question below and I can give you a link to what you're looking for and hopefully try to find you some information that would be solid regarding that. Always look at solid evidence from their own sources when you're researching companies, when you're researching, and in particular any kind of medical companies, pharma companies, anything like that. Go to their science information. Don't go to what they report on the media as, here's some information for you regarding this or that. Go to their own scientific reports. And I'll give you some information down below. I'll also write the questions down below for you to look at. We're going to separate this in a couple parts because the camera unfortunately only films for 12 minutes and then it shuts down and I have to break it up. So we're going to be looking at three major areas. I kind of whittled it down to three. There are obviously more when it regards to prophecy and future events, but there are three main things that I want you to take a look at. Our first one is our first information that we're going to be looking at. It entails unity. So what they want to do is they want to unify all of basically the globe. They want to unify everyone as far as economic status, how you use your money, how you travel, how you identify yourself, how you use information. They want to control all of that information. And what I mean is there are people that are in control of this, who are very powerful and very wealthy, and so they're going to be giving the mainstream, which is all the masses of people, information that they want them to know or want them to believe. Not necessarily the true information, not necessarily the right information. They'll pepper a little bit of that in there on the media, which means the mainstream news or things like that. But basically they're telling you, and they're reading from a script, the people on there, and they're telling you what they want you to know. So that's why I always encourage you to do your own work, to think for yourself. Don't just watch the news and go, oh yes, this is what I need to do and I need to just fall in line. I want you to ask questions and I want you to research. That's not always popular, but it's important when you're facing questions of, do I really want to know this or do I really just want to go along to get along? If you really want to know this and you really want to research for yourself and you want to make some good educated decisions on what you do, which is what I encourage, then you're going to be looking for yourself. I'm going to mention the first part of this, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to split it. I'm going to stop, and then we'll go to the second part, which will be a little bit longer. The first subject that I want to breach is called the economic reset. Now, this is put out by the Economic Forum, the Global Economic Forum. You can look that up yourself, and I'll also, it's hard for me to write some of these things because what happens is the algorithms catch them and they can delete my video if they find certain words. But you will hear this global economic reset. You will hear that a lot in the news. They've tried to debunk it and say that, oh no, that's false, that's some kind of conspiracy. Please know that when you hear the word conspiracy theorist, that comes out of the era of the Kennedy assassination when they were questioning what happened there. They made up this word so that they could discredit anybody that was asking questions. Even the Bible tells you, even Jesus tells you, watch and ask questions. Always ask questions. If you're not doing that, then you're just deciding to put your head in the sand and just follow along. And if that's your choice, that's up to you. But this is for people who really want to learn. They are telling you already what they are going to be doing. When they say to you, this is your new normal, this is the new normal, they are telling you what they're going to be doing. When you're watching movies that have, you know, some type of viral infection that takes over the whole world, they are telling you what they are going to be doing. This is called predictive programming. You can look up that term as well. They are telling you, and their deal is that if you do not do anything about that, then they are going through. They have to tell you first what they're going to be doing. How this current crisis has been used, and what I'm talking about is this illness that has gone around the globe that they say is deadly, and they say that the numbers are climbing, this and that and the other, and they're reporting a lot of fear on the news. They're using this as an opportunity, and they always use the word opportunity to gain more control over the the population. And by control, I mean control over your money, control over your movements, where you go, what you watch, what you listen to, the recording, all of those things on your computer. So this crisis is being used in every way. I'm not saying that there isn't an illness going on. I believe there is. I've been exposed to it, and so is my husband. We were both over 50, and we both survived. So if you are younger, your chances of surviving this are very, very good. Yet people are afraid to go outside. They're afraid to meet with their family. They're afraid to do anything. So you need to have education. If you have education and basic scientific information that's true, not just propaganda that they're telling you, then if you have the information, then that helps you to feel more secure and less afraid. This is about control. Is this about, so the question in this is this about your health or is this about control? Because when you're following orders and you're seeing some conflicting information happening, then you need to ask some questions. You need to pay attention to what's happening. Don't just follow directions. Pay attention to what's happening. Find out basic information about health and how to keep yourself healthy. Find out that information. Okay, I'm gonna stop and break here, and then I'm gonna head out to the next two questions that we're gonna do, and then we'll follow up. Now we're gonna head into our scripture for today. Our scripture is going to be in Matthew, and it is Matthew 24, 32 through 34. We'll put it right up here so that you can read along with us. I'm also going to put it down here, and I'll also put it in the description just for you to follow along. This scripture says, this is from Jesus, and he was being asked when the signs of the times would be. And he told us to watch for these things, and this is what he said. Now learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, that's when you know you're looking at the season changing. You also know when you see all of these things, know that it is near, at the door. Assuredly, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away, until all of these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will no means pass away. He is telling us to look at the seasons. This means watch the events. Our next question is going to be another area to look in is transhumanism. Now that is something, all of these things you need to look up for yourself and study for yourself. The first one was the economic reset and how they're going to use that for control of all of our information, money, currency, travel, all of those things. Transhumanism is the second one. There are actually churches who worship AI, which is artificial intelligence. That is something that they're really pushing now and looking forward to, and that also deals with the Global Economic Forum. And that's something for you to look up. We'll put that information down below as well. And then, what are the advances in AI nowadays? I mean, we've got something that we hold in our hand continually. You're on the computer, or you're on a device, or you're looking at a screen. We're carrying that with us everywhere we go. Some people have glasses now that they put on that they can see. The technology, it seems like it's doubling every couple weeks. It's like double, you know. So they are trying to achieve what they call the singularity. You can look that up as well. That is when man merges with machine. I can't see that going wrong. Can you? What could go wrong in that? Man is merging with machine, which means they are going to want to attach to you information to make you yourself a computer. Rather than having it on your wrist, if you have a Fitbit, or in your hand, they want to actually take that and put that in your body. There is certain groups out there and certain scientists, we won't mention, who actually own an electrical car company, who want to put a neural link or web in your brain to connect you to a computer. So you need to be really careful. You need to be careful about what they're going to be using for this injection. I know that sounds crazy, but if you know anything about information, you can look it up for yourself with something that they can put in that they can track. They can track you so that you can tell that somebody else is sick. How do you think that they can do that? If you're going to have something on your phone, a device that's telling you that somebody else might be sick, how is it that they're going to make sure to track everybody that they've tested? Be very careful. When people go in the human body and they try to change DNA, and they will tell you this is not what's happening, but I can give you information if you're interested that will tell you it is. mRNA, the M means messenger. Messenger is delivering information to your DNA. Think about it. Think very carefully about that, because implications could be forever. So, be very careful about that. What are they promising to you? This will be so much easier. You're going to be able to have all of your information tracked. Is that a good idea? I'm asking you. These are questions for you to think over. Eugenics is a program that they have been working on for a very long time. Now look up that word, eugenics. Eugenics is something that was in the U.S., started in the U.S., and it was for good health. But what it was really doing was it was saying the weak are a burden to us. Define weak. It could be somebody that's disabled. It could be somebody with a mental disability, somebody that is inferior in any way. Those people needed to be eliminated. Who do you think finished off and carried that out? The Third Reich. It was taken over to Germany, and you can look that up for yourself and look at the results of that. This may be that on steroids. I'm just telling you. You can think for yourself, and you can look it up for yourself. Don't believe me. Look it up. All right. How will this end? That naturally segued into that. How did it end before? Things have a way of coming back around. When they are promising you forever life, when they are promising you that they're going to electronically track you, electronically do everything, and everything's going to be great, and life is going to be fine, you better think again. Can you go to the DMV now? Are they managing that pretty good? Are they managing the healthcare system pretty good? I'm asking you. The next one is Unification, and it deals with the New World Order. Now, before you accuse me of wearing a tinfoil hat, the New World Order has been said by many, many leaders. It's all over the place. All you have to do is look it up. It's been mentioned by every president in the books, so look that up. Don't take it from me. And that is saying we are all one. It's unifying everybody. It's creating a human utopia. That has never worked out well, ever. So if they are promising that for you, they are promising autonomous zones. And let's talk about autonomous zones for a second. How did Chaz turn out? How did some of these autonomous no-go zones turn out? Because here's the problem. Not everybody has the same ideas. Not everybody has everybody else's goodwill in their mind. You may have people who are violent. You may have people who are looking to gain from that criminally. So that never works because of one thing. Mankind is broken. If you're expecting there to be a utopia and there are humans involved, there's going to be some bad news for you. I'm sorry. I don't understand when people say, oh, you know, we should all be soft totalitarianism, which means everybody needs to think the same thing, use the same words, have the same ideas, have the same goals. Because if you don't have any kind of diversity in mind, and mind you, this doesn't mean diversity that agrees with you, okay? You are talking about diversity, that means tolerance for other people's ideas, not just the ones that agree with you. These are things for you to think about, and I want you to do your research, and below I'm going to be putting your information. So as always, the Lord keep you, and the Lord bless you. And if you have any questions, if you have anything at all that you need help with, write it below in the comments, and I will do my very, very best to get back to you, to get you information. And I'm going to put a lot of these notes down below for you to look up as well. Remember to always ask questions. Always look for yourself, and don't just do what you're told, and don't just believe what you're told. Blessings, and I'll see you next time. This is Little Wing 1. Talk to you later. Okay, so I'm doing this for a friend. This is Mr. Burns. He is my apocalyptic hound, and he is also very interested in the treat that I have, so I'm going to put that away. This is Mr. Burns, and he's going to be visiting us every once in a while. He's ridiculous. The problem is, if I had this face at the beginning of the video, you guys wouldn't pay any attention to me. So I just want to let you know that Brandon, you requested this, so here's Mr. Burns, and hopefully we'll have more of him as time goes by. Meanwhile, over and out. Yes, he has a hoodie. He has a little soldier hoodie on. He's an apocalyptic monster. Just letting you know. Little Wing 1 signing out.